There are some things Allah gives you that no one else was ever meant to see. A feeling that changes your heart, a dream that shakes your soul, a moment in prayer that feels like the whole world disappeared, and only you and Allah remain. Those moments are not accidents, they are trusts. And every trust comes with a warning: do not share this. You see, the world doesn't always understand what Allah shows you. People can misunderstand your peace, envy your blessings, or question your faith. That's why the most sacred things Allah gives are wrapped in silence. Because silence protects what words can destroy. Ibn Arabi said, "When Allah breathes a secret into your heart, guard it, for it was not given to the world, it was given to you." This is not about hiding your light, it's about keeping it pure. Because not every revelation is meant to be spoken, and not every blessing should be displayed. Some gifts are meant to stay between you and the one who gave them. So today, we'll uncover the secret Allah told you not to share. 7 timeless lessons that will change how you see silence, secrecy, and divine trust forever. But before we begin, ask yourself this: what if the thing Allah gave you, that peace, that dream, that understanding, was never meant to be spoken out loud? What if your silence is actually your protection? There are moments in life when Allah gives you something too delicate for the world to handle, a dream that shakes your heart, a realization that opens your soul, or a peace that words could never describe. Ibn Arabi said that these divine gifts are trusts, not trophies. They are meant to be carried in silence, because the weight of truth can only be held by a heart that knows how to guard it. What is hidden is protected not just from people's envy or misunderstanding, but from your own ego that might seek to display what was meant to remain sacred. When Allah gives you something in private, He is teaching you the art of divine secrecy. Look at how creation itself hides its most precious things. Pearls are concealed deep inside oysters, diamonds are buried within mountains, and seeds grow quietly underground before breaking the surface. Nothing truly valuable is born in the open. In the same way, your spiritual growth begins in unseen soil. The silence is not emptiness, it's protection. Allah places you in that hidden space so that what He's nurturing within you can grow without corruption. Ibn Arabi described the heart as a sanctuary where Allah's light descends. When that light enters, it transforms everything it touches. But if you speak about it too soon, before the light has settled, it fades. That's why the saints and the righteous were careful not to reveal what they experienced in their closeness to Allah. They knew that words can break what silence protects. Their hidden states weren't about secrecy from others, they were about loyalty to the one who entrusted them. Every hidden thing has its own power. When you protect your secret with Allah, it becomes a source of barakah that no one can steal. The world can only destroy what it sees. It cannot touch what it does not know exists. So when you keep your spiritual experiences veiled, they remain between you and the divine, untouched, pure, and alive. That hidden connection becomes your private line to Allah, your personal meeting place with Him in the unseen. This is also why Allah conceals your faults while exposing your strengths. He knows that your weaknesses are sacred ground for growth. They must be protected from people's judgment until they are healed. When you rush to show the world what Allah is still perfecting within you, you interrupt His process. You announce what was meant to mature in silence. That is why the saints practiced humility, not just in their actions, but in their revelations. They hid their progress because they understood that exposure weakens what is still forming. So, when you feel something divine awaken within you, a deep clarity, an answered prayer, or a sudden peace, Resist the urge to share it instantly. Protect it as you would a seed. Speak of it only to Allah, because the moment you give it to the world, it stops belonging fully to you. What is hidden with Allah is multiplied. What is displayed before people is diminished. The truth is, the most powerful transformations happen in secret. No one sees the night you stayed awake crying in sujood. No one hears the silent dhikr that cleanses your heart. No one witnesses the moment Allah shifts something inside you. And yet, those unseen moments shape your destiny more than any public act ever could. What is hidden is protected because Allah Himself guards it. The unseen world is the womb of His mercy, and what He conceals, He intends to strengthen. So, when Allah hides you, be grateful. When He conceals your progress, trust His wisdom, because the treasures of the soul, like pearls, are never found on the surface. They are discovered only in the depths of silence. When Allah allows light to enter your heart, not everyone around you will see it the same way. Some will feel inspired by it, while others will be disturbed by it. Not because the light is wrong, but because their eyes aren't ready to see. Ibn Arabi taught that every heart reflects divine truth according to its purity. A clean mirror reflects clearly, but a dusty one distorts. So, when you speak of what Allah has shown you, a dream, a spiritual awakening, or a moment of clarity, you risk having it misunderstood, not because it isn't real, but because others cannot yet perceive it through their own veiled hearts. Allah reminds us of this through the story of Prophet Yusuf, alayhis salam. When Yusuf told his father about his dream, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing to him, his father, a prophet, understood the divine meaning. But he also warned his son, "Do not tell your dream to your brothers, lest they plot against you." Surah Yusuf 12-5. This is one of the deepest lessons in the Quran about divine discretion. Even truth must be protected from unready hearts. Even light must be hidden until the darkness fades. Every soul moves at its own pace toward Allah. What feels obvious to you now might be completely alien to someone else. Ibn Arabi said that when Allah expands your perception, He doesn't always expand others with it. This is why many mystics throughout history faced rejection, not because they were wrong, but because they were speaking from a station others hadn't reached. The truth they carried was too vast for words, and the world prefers what it can easily understand. So, when Allah gives you understanding, don't rush to prove it. Let it live quietly inside you until it ripens. The need to be understood by people often comes from the ego, not the spirit. The ego wants recognition. The spirit wants connection with the divine. The more you try to make everyone see what you see, the more your light begins to dim under their misunderstanding. True wisdom doesn't need to shout, it shines. The people around you are not always your audience. Some are tests to see whether you will protect what Allah gave or throw it away for approval. The moment you speak too soon, the sacred becomes a spectacle, and what was once a divine secret becomes ordinary in the hands of others. That's why the scholars and saints often disguise their spiritual experiences in poetry, symbols, or silence. They weren't hiding arrogance. They were guarding intimacy with Allah. There's also a mercy in this concealment. If everyone understood your inner journey, pride would find its way in. You might start measuring your closeness to Allah through people's admiration instead of His acceptance. But when Allah hides your state from others, He's teaching you to seek His gaze alone. You begin to realize that what truly matters is not being understood by creation, but being understood by the Creator. The light that Allah gives you is not for display, it's for direction. It's meant to guide your steps, not decorate your image. You don't need to prove that your heart is awake. The way you live will prove it for you. Every act of mercy, every moment of patience, every quiet surrender is evidence of that divine illumination within. So, when you feel unseen or misunderstood, don't grieve. The prophets were misunderstood. The saints were doubted. Even truth itself is often denied. But Allah knows the hearts, He enlightens, and He will never let your light go to waste. Keep it burning quietly. Protect it from voices that would mock or misinterpret it, because the moment you learn to guard your light, you become one of those who carry the hidden flame unseen by the world, but deeply known by Allah. Silence is not emptiness, it's a language only Allah fully understands. In the world we live in, people rush to speak, to announce, to share every emotion and thought. But the closer a person draws to Allah, the more they learn that silence has a power words can never hold. Ibn Arabi described silence as the veil through which divine wisdom descends. It is in silence that revelation ripens, intentions purify, and hearts become mirrors of truth. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Seek help in accomplishing your affairs by keeping them secret, for everyone who is blessed is envied." That means silence is not avoidance, it's protection. Every blessing, when first born, is fragile. It's like a seedling just breaking through the soil. Expose it too early to harsh winds, and it withers. When you speak too soon of what Allah is growing within you, your goals, your dreams, your newfound peace, you make it vulnerable to the jealousy and energy of others who may not wish you well. Silence protects not only from others, but from yourself. When you tell people of your spiritual progress or blessings, a small part of you begins to seek validation. You start measuring your worth by reactions instead of divine satisfaction. That's how pride quietly creeps in disguised as inspiration. Ibn Arabi warned that when speech arises from the self, not from truth, it becomes a barrier between the heart and the real. Silence, on the other hand, returns you to humility. It teaches you that your journey is between you and Allah alone. Think about the greatest moments of spiritual intimacy in your life, the times when you felt closest to Allah. Did they happen while speaking or while being still? The heart speaks most clearly when the tongue is quiet. In silence, you begin to hear the whisper of your own soul, and beneath that, the echo of divine guidance. That's why the saints preferred solitude, not because they hated the world, but because they found Allah more present in stillness than in noise. Silence also refines intention. When you stop explaining yourself to others, you begin explaining yourself to Allah. Every act becomes purer, every prayer deeper, every thought more aligned with truth. The less you speak, the more you feel. The less you announce, the more you experience. You realize that silence is not a void, it's a bridge between your heart and the unseen. In silence, the heart rests. The Quran says, "Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Remembrance, dhikr, is not always spoken aloud. Sometimes it is a quiet pulse within the soul. When your heart repeats His name silently, without your tongue's help, that's when remembrance becomes constant. Silence transforms into worship. The one who can sit quietly before Allah has already begun to converse with Him beyond words. So when Allah blesses you with understanding, love, success, or peace, resist the urge to announce it. Let gratitude bloom in silence. Every hidden Alhamdulillah carries more weight than 1,000 public declarations. Every quiet tear shed in sujood carries more light than the loudest claim of faith. Ibn Arabi said that silence is the guardian of divine secrets. When you protect what Allah has placed within you through silence, you are showing Him that you are worthy of deeper truths. Because the more you hide what He gives, the more He gives you. The moment you display it for the world, the door begins to close. True strength is not in expression, it's in restraint. True wisdom is not in speaking often, it's in knowing when to stay quiet. Silence is not the absence of voice, it's the presence of divine awareness. It's the space where your soul listens, your heart softens, and Allah's mercy speaks without sound. So when life becomes noisy and the world demands explanation, retreat into your silence. That's where the blessings grow. That's where Allah listens. And that's where your heart, finally, begins to understand what words could never describe. There is a secret power in doing good that no one sees. Ibn Arabi said that the unseen realm is where sincerity lives, and sincerity is the soul of every righteous act. When your action is witnessed only by Allah, it becomes pure. It's not filtered through pride, expectation, or approval. It exists solely for His sake, and that's where barakah, divine blessing, begins to flow. In our age of noise and attention, people rush to display their goodness. We share our charity, our prayers, our generosity, as if our worth depends on others noticing. But the more we chase recognition, the less spiritual weight our deeds carry. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught, "The best of your deeds are those done in secret. Hidden deeds are like roots. No one sees them, but they are what keep the tree alive." When you give in secret, your giving is guarded from ego. No one praises you, so your intention stays clean. Allah Himself promises, if you give charity openly, it is good. But if you conceal it and give it to the poor in private, it is better for you. Surah Al-Baqarah 2-271. Why? Because hidden acts are wrapped in sincerity, and sincerity draws divine protection. The angels record those moments with light invisible to the world, but eternal in the heavens. Ibn Arabi wrote that every unseen act creates a current in the spiritual world. A silent prayer, a private forgiveness, a secret act of kindness, all ripple through the unseen and return multiplied. You may forget your hidden deeds, but Allah never does. In fact, it is often those small, quiet acts that carry you on the day of judgment when grand public ones fail. The saints of Allah used to hide their worship the way people hide their sins. One of them said, "If my right hand gave in charity, I would not let my left hand know." They understood that public virtue easily becomes a mask, but hidden virtue becomes truth. When no one knows what you did, there is no performance, only worship. Hidden deeds also protect your heart from exhaustion. When you act for the eyes of others, you are bound to their reactions. When you act for Allah alone, you are bound only to His mercy. Public deeds demand applause to feel complete, but hidden ones are fueled by love. The heart that gives in secret doesn't need to be thanked. It finds peace simply in knowing Allah saw. There is also a mysterious barakah that follows hidden actions. Sometimes, a single unseen sujood can open doors in your life that years of planning never could. A whispered dua in the night can shift entire destinies. Allah hides the true effect of your sincerity because He wants your trust, not your calculation. He wants you to act purely, without needing to see the results. Ibn Arabi said that Allah's most loyal servants live in two worlds: the visible, where they appear ordinary, and the hidden, where they are kings. Their secret prayers hold up realities, their quiet charity saves hearts, and their humility draws angels near. They walk the earth unknown, but their names are written in light above. So if your goodness goes unnoticed, don't be disheartened. If your sacrifices are unseen, rejoice. Allah hides your deeds, not to deprive you, but to preserve them. every tear shed in solitude, every act of patience that no one thanked you for, every temptation you resisted without announcing it, all are treasures buried deep within your record. The barakah of hidden deeds is not always felt immediately, but it shapes your soul in ways nothing else can. It purifies your heart, strengthens your sincerity, and builds a quiet companionship with Allah. The more you do unseen, the more He makes you seen in ways that matter not in people's eyes, but in His grace. So, guard your hidden actions as you would a secret garden. Let them grow where no human praise can reach, watered only by Allah's knowledge of them, because the deeds done in silence echo eternally, long after applause fades, and only the light of sincerity remains. There is a sacred mystery in how Allah protects His servants. Sometimes He gives you a blessing, a vision, a moment of peace, or a plan so beautiful that your heart trembles with gratitude. And in that excitement, you rush to tell the world. You share your dream, your healing, your new beginning, and suddenly, everything starts to shake. What once felt clear becomes clouded. What once flowed easily begins to stall. You ask, why did this happen? Why did things change after I spoke about it? Ibn Arabi said that every unveiling is a trust, and every trust is tested. When Allah reveals something to your heart, He is testing whether you will guard it with humility or expose it to pride. Because the moment you speak of what He gave, you invite the test that reveals your sincerity. You might think you were simply sharing joy, but sometimes joy too must be disciplined. There are blessings that lose their strength when displayed before people. This is one of the secrets hidden in the story of Prophet Yusuf, alayhi salam. When he shared his dream of the sun, moon, and stars bowing to him, his father warned him, "Do not relate your dream to your brothers, lest they plot against you." It wasn't that his brothers could destroy the dream, they couldn't, but revealing it too early exposed it to unnecessary trial. The dream was real, yet even truth must wait for divine timing. Yusuf's vision was fulfilled, but only after years of silence, hardship, and growth. What Allah gives you is not fragile, but your connection to it can be. When you expose your spiritual experiences, blessings, or intentions before they are fully grounded, you risk letting the world interfere. Words draw attention, and attention attracts both energy and envy. Sometimes, the very moment you speak about your peace, it's tested. When you speak about your plan, it's delayed. When you boast about your clarity, confusion follows. Not because Allah is punishing you, but because He is protecting what is real from what is unready. The unseen world has its own rhythm. Every spiritual gift must first settle in silence before it can survive exposure. Imagine planting a seed. You bury it, water it, and let the earth cover it. You don't dig it up every few days to check its progress. You trust the process. If you pull it out too soon, you kill it. The same is true for divine gifts. Allah plants something in your soul and hides it beneath the soil of patience. When you start speaking of it too early, you uproot what was still growing. Ibn Arabi wrote, "Speech brings the unseen into form, and every form invites trial." That means, the moment you reveal something, it enters the realm of duality, where others can see, judge, and respond. The more sacred the gift, the more delicate it becomes under the gaze of others. That's why many saints remained silent about their spiritual openings until they were certain their hearts could bear the weight of misunderstanding. They didn't fear people. They feared losing the intimacy that silence preserved. There's another dimension to this test. When you reveal your blessings, your ego begins to feed on them. You start to feel ownership. My peace, my knowledge, my success. The ego wants to be seen as chosen, enlightened, special. But Allah tests every heart that starts to whisper, "Look what I've achieved." And sometimes, the quickest way to protect you from pride is to let the thing you spoke of crumble not as punishment, but as purification. He removes it to remind you, it was never yours. It was mine all along. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "Seek help in your affairs by keeping them secret." This advice is not only about safety from envy, it's about spiritual endurance. Every dream, every dua, every vision has a sacred incubation period. In silence, your trust grows. In privacy, your intention purifies. When the time is right, Allah Himself will bring it to life, and when He does, no human hand can touch it. Even your peace will be tested when you speak of it. You say, "I've finally found calm," and suddenly chaos visits. You say, "I've forgiven," and the same wound reappears. You say, "I'm strong now," and you find yourself breaking. Don't see this as failure. See it as Allah confirming your strength. The test reveals whether your peace was dependent on circumstance or rooted in Him. The blessing remains. The test is simply there to anchor it deeper. Ibn Arabi explained that Allah tests what is revealed so that it may return to its source. Meaning, when your gift is shaken, you return to the giver. You realize the blessing was never the end. It was a doorway back to Allah. Every trial after revelation is an invitation to intimacy. The moment something precious is tested, it's not a sign of loss, it's a reminder to hold tighter to the one who gave it. So the next time Allah gives you something beautiful, an answered dua, a healed heart, a new opportunity, hold it close. Thank Him quietly. Don't rush to display it. Don't invite the gaze of the world into what was born in solitude. Protect it the way a mother guards her newborn, gently, privately, with reverence. Because what Allah entrusts to you in silence is sacred, and every sacred thing demands care. Remember this: Allah does not test to harm, He tests to strengthen. If what you reveal is shaken, it's only to make your foundation unshakable. The unseen world is full of gardens that grew in silence. Let your blessings grow there, too, untouched by pride, unseen by envy, and uncorrupted by the noise of the world. For in the end, it's not what you spoke that endures, it's what you protected. And the one who guards their secret with Allah will one day see it bloom in ways beyond imagination. There are moments when Allah hides you from the world not as punishment, but as protection. You might feel unseen, unnoticed, or forgotten, but in truth, you've been invited into a sacred space where only He can reach you. Ibn Arabi said that Allah's most intimate relationship with His servant exists in the secret no one else knows. What is between you and Allah alone becomes the purest form of love, a bond untouched by human eyes, unshaken by praise or criticism. Every soul has a private chamber where it meets its Lord. It's not found in crowds or applause, but in those quiet hours when you whisper to Him and no one hears. That secret is your door to intimacy. Every tear that falls unseen, every quiet remembrance, every hidden prayer builds a bridge between your heart and the divine. The Quran says, "Remember your Lord within yourself, humbly and in fear, without being loud in speech, in the mornings and the evenings." 7:205. That command reveals something profound. The truest form of remembrance is the one done in secret, where your voice is low, but your heart is loud. Ibn Arabi wrote that when Allah wishes to draw a servant close, He gives them the gift of concealment. He hides them from worldly recognition, so that they can taste the sweetness of being known only by Him. You may feel isolated, but it's within that isolation that divine companionship grows. The hidden life is not a lonely life. It is the life of those whose audience is Allah alone. When Allah becomes your secret, He also becomes your strength. You no longer need validation, applause, or understanding from people. You stop explaining your journey, because your heart has already been understood by the one who created it. The world might call it silence, but in that silence, your soul is speaking constantly, saying, Ya Allah, you are enough. There is a divine intimacy that blooms when you hold your spiritual moments close. The times you sat alone, eyes filled with tears, speaking your fears to Allah, those moments are your true identity. The world will never know how many storms you survived on your prayer mat. No one sees the invisible victories, the temptations resisted, the anger restrained, the forgiveness given in secret. Yet every one of those moments is witnessed by the Lord of the worlds. This secret relationship with Allah cannot be forced. It must be cultivated. You build it by remembering Him in solitude, by speaking to Him about things you've never told anyone else, by carrying your pain to Him instead of people. Each time you choose Allah as your confidant, your intimacy with Him deepens. And as it deepens, He begins to respond in ways that transcend speech, through peace, through signs, through openings that only your heart can interpret. Ibn Arabi said that Allah hides Himself within the veils of creation, but the one who guards their heart's secret begins to see Him in everything. When you preserve your bond in silence, life itself becomes dhikr, the air becomes remembrance, the stillness becomes presence. That's the secret station of nearness, to live among people, yet walk inwardly with Allah. Even your unanswered prayers become a form of intimacy. When you whisper your hopes to Him and nothing changes, don't assume He is distant. Silence from Allah is never absence. It's invitation. He is drawing you into deeper reliance, away from results and closer to trust. The longer you keep returning to Him, the stronger the invisible thread between you becomes. That thread is woven from your secrets, the du'as you made in the dark, the sins you repented from in solitude, the gratitude you expressed when no one was watching. The saints used to say, "The one who keeps his secret with Allah will be granted secrets from Allah." That means when you prove yourself trustworthy with what He gives more understanding, more peace, more signs of His nearness. But if you expose everything He shows you, the door begins to close. The secret is a covenant, a sacred trust between the soul and its Creator. Break it for the sake of attention, and you lose what made it divine. So, if Allah has ever given you a moment of clarity, a hidden spiritual taste, a night of overwhelming closeness, keep it sealed in your heart. Don't rush to describe it. Don't post it. Don't explain it. Those are sacred visitations, invitations into divine friendship. The more you protect them, the more He will visit you. And each time, the visit will be deeper, more luminous, more transformative. Remember, intimacy with Allah doesn't always come through public worship. It comes through private surrender. It's in the breath between du'as, in the tears that never fall, in the silent gratitude after hardship. Every secret act of love for Allah strengthens your soul's connection to Him, and in return, He begins to speak to your heart in ways the world could never understand. When you live with that awareness, you begin to see life differently. You no longer crave to be seen, because you already are, by the one whose gaze never leaves you. You no longer seek to be heard, because every whisper you make is already known. This is the sweetness Ibn Arabi spoke of, the secret friendship with Allah that grows in silence. So protect your sacred moments. Guard the secrets He shares with your soul, because every time you keep something hidden for His sake, you are stepping deeper into His presence. And one day, when you stand before Him, all those unseen moments will rise like light around you, proofs of a love that was never for the world to see, but always for Him alone. When Allah wants something known, He does not need your words to announce it. He unveils it through His own timing. The Quran says, Allah will bring forth what you conceal. At-Tahrim 66-3, meaning, what is meant for the world to see will one day emerge effortlessly, while what is meant to stay between you and Him will remain veiled until your final breath. Ibn Arabi said that every hidden truth lives in the unseen until Allah breathes be upon it, and then, in an instant, it becomes visible, undeniable, unstoppable. You may spend years cultivating something in silence, your faith, your peace, your dream, your purpose, and wonder why no one notices. You may feel invisible while others are being celebrated. But what you don't see is that Allah is still forming your foundation. The unseen is the workshop of the divine. What the world calls delay is often protection. What feels like silence is a stage of preparation. The truth is, nothing revealed too early survives its own weight. The fruit that ripens before its time falls before it can feed anyone. Allah's revelation is always measured. He hides His plans not because He wants to withhold, but because He wants to strengthen. He wants to make sure your heart can carry the weight of what He's preparing. Ibn Arabi wrote, "When Allah conceals a thing, He is perfecting it. This means your hidden season is sacred. Every unanswered dua, every unseen effort, every silent act of obedience is being polished in His unseen workshop. When the time comes, He will reveal it Himself, not through your striving, but through His command. There are moments when Allah brings your inner state into the outer world. You don't have to prove you've changed. Your peace starts to radiate through your actions. You don't have to tell people you've grown. Your patience begins to speak louder than your words. You don't have to announce your purpose. Your life starts moving in its rhythm naturally. That's how Allah reveals His work subtly, perfectly, and without your effort. Remember the story of Prophet Yusuf, alayhis salam. He spent years in silence, betrayed, enslaved, imprisoned. His truth was hidden. But when Allah decided it was time, He brought Yusuf from the darkness of a cell to the light of a throne. No human hand planned that rise. No announcement or argument could have forced it. Allah revealed him Himself. And when He did, every lie collapsed, every injustice reversed, every secret dream fulfilled. This is divine unveiling tajalli, when what Allah decrees in the unseen suddenly manifests in the visible world with power that no one can resist. If Allah has placed a dream in your heart, you don't need to market it. If He has transformed your soul, you don't need to explain it. If He has purified your path, you don't need to prove it. What is real will eventually reveal itself, not because you spoke of it, but because Allah wills it into light. Every divine plan unfolds in perfect timing, not your timing. That is why the righteous never chase recognition. They chase readiness. They spend their lives preparing quietly, knowing that the moment Allah says be, everything hidden will rise. Sometimes Allah hides your blessings until you can handle their responsibility. He hides your success until your humility is strong enough to carry it. He hides your influence until your sincerity is unshakable. He hides your peace until you learn how to guard it. What you see as delay is actually divine mercy, because if He gave it to you before you were ready, you would lose it before you could cherish it. Ibn Arabi wrote that the unveiling, kashf of divine reality, happens not by seeking attention, but by becoming transparent to truth. The purer your heart becomes, the more naturally Allah's light flows through you, and people see it without you ever needing to speak. When the divine decides to reveal something, He does it in a way that glorifies Him, not you. The unveiling isn't about your greatness, it's about His power. So do not be impatient. Do not be restless when the world doesn't see what Allah has placed inside you. You are not hidden from destiny. You are hidden for destiny. The delay is not denial, it's divine design. Each moment of obscurity is shaping you, grounding you, preparing you for the weight of visibility. Because when Allah finally reveals your truth, you won't have to defend it, it will defend itself. And when that unveiling happens, it will come quietly but unmistakably. Suddenly, doors will open that had been locked for years. People who once overlooked you will speak your name with respect. Blessings that felt impossible will appear with ease. And when that happens, your heart will know, this was never me, this was Him. The one who trusted in silence will witness in awe. The one who waited faithfully will be carried effortlessly. That's how Allah reveals, not through struggle, but through surrender. The saints knew this secret well. They would say, "Do your work in silence, and let Allah make it visible when He wills." They understood that revelation isn't a reward for effort, but a result of alignment. When your heart aligns with His wisdom, your life becomes a reflection of His plan. You don't chase outcomes. Outcomes begin chasing you. So, if you are in a season of silence, don't despise it. Don't envy those who seem ahead. The seed that grows in secret often bears the sweetest fruit. Let Allah finish His work in you. When the time comes, He will reveal it Himself in a way that leaves no doubt. You won't need to justify your journey. You won't need to explain your transformation. The same Allah who planted the secret will unveil it in His perfect timing, in His perfect way. When that day comes, remember the purpose of it all, not to make you known, but to make His mercy visible through you. And then you'll understand. The years of hiddenness were never silence. They were sacred preparation. The secret you guarded with patience will become the light that guides others. The hidden relationship you built with Allah will finally speak, not through words, but through your life. And that is the ultimate unveiling, when your existence itself becomes a sign of the one who revealed it. When Allah gives you a secret, it's not a burden, it's an invitation. An invitation to build a relationship so private, so sacred, that no one else can touch it. You weren't meant to shout every blessing. You weren't meant to explain every dream. You were meant to protect what was whispered into your heart. Because what is spoken too soon can fade, but what is kept between you and Allah becomes eternal. Every hidden prayer, every unseen act, every silent tear carries a weight that the world can never measure. The angels record it in places no human eye will ever reach. That is where true barakah lives, in the unseen, where sincerity breathes freely. Ibn Arabi said, "The more you hide your secret with Allah, the more He reveals Himself to you." And that is the greatest gift of all. Not that people see your light, but that Allah deepens it within you. Not that the world recognizes your journey, but that He walks with you through it. So, guard what He gave you. Hold it close. When the time is right, He will reveal it Himself. And when He does, you won't have to prove anything. Your peace will speak. Your silence will shine. Your life will testify. And in that moment, you'll understand. What you protected in secret was never small. It was the beginning of your intimacy with the one who knows all secrets. So stay hidden if Allah hides you. Stay patient if He delays you. Because the secret He told you not to share is the very one that's shaping who you're meant to become.